So you're excited about your new subwoofer. You saw it online, you saw it in the store, you spend your money, you order it, it comes in the post, you plug it in, you calibrate it, and all of a sudden it sounds boomy, weak, and overall not impressive. Well, the problem might not be your subwoofer, but the way you set it up. In this video today, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your subwoofer with your AV receiver system. I'm going to use the Klipsch to illustrate that. I will also explain what each knob does, why a lot of people get it wrong, and how to set up your system in such a way that it hits how it's supposed to. If you're having challenges with your subwoofer and you want the best out of it, this is a video that you should be watching. Let's do this right now. So one of the first mistakes that people make is that they fiddle with this low pass knob on their subwoofer too much. I'll tell you what, if you're using a receiver with a dedicated sub out like this one, do not use the subs crossover. Let the receiver handle it. This is important because the receiver uses digital bass management, where it splits low frequencies from the main speakers and send them to your sub. If you also use the knob on the sub, you create double filtering, and that causes weak, muddy bass and phase issues. Now, how to adjust this? You turn the low pass knob all the way to LFE, or maximum. When you do that, you disable the internal crossover, and now you're letting the receiver take full control. Number 2, the gain knob. Now, this is not a volume knob for more power. It really sets the input sensitivity of the subs amplifier, so it's good to start at either 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, and not all the way like this as I used to do it before. Why? Because the AV receiver also adjusts the sub level during calibration. So if the gain is too high, the receiver will reduce it heavily. If the gain is too low, the receiver pushes the signal too hard and increases the distortion. After you've run your auto calibration, you should also check your receiver sub trim level. If it says +8 or +10 decibels, your gain is too low. If it says -10 or -12 decibel, your gain is definitely too high. So you want it roughly between -6 and +3 decibels. Now this means you've matched your gain properly. Step 3. Phase control. Now phase aligns the timing between the subwoofer and your main speakers. If they are out of phase, bass cancels itself. So I would recommend starting at 0 degrees. The difference is at 0 degrees, the sub moves in sync with your speakers, and at 180 degrees, the sub movement is reversed. There's 0 degrees at the top, and at the bottom here, you can't really see it. It's 180 degrees. Now, keep the setting that sounds louder and fuller at your own seating position. So the louder setting is the one where waves alignment is better. It's not physics, it's about personal preference. For me, I prefer it at 0 degrees because it gives me a fuller rounder bass that just fills the room, and I love that. Step 4, let's get into the receiver settings. This is where the real performance happens. Now, so you go into your receiver's speaker setting and set every one of them to small. Now, small doesn't mean that your speakers are weak. What it means is that your receiver is redirecting the deep bass to the sub, which it is designed to handle. And don't forget to set your subwoofer frequency to 80 Hz. Why? Because below 80 Hz, bass is non-directional. And this is also the industry standard crossover for smoother integration.